Hey everyone, this is Susan, the Nana from the Papa's Kitchen. Today, I'm in charge of the kitchen. Jerry makes the big things. He makes the extensive meals, gourmet type. I don't do that. There were a couple of recipes that I've been doing that I thought maybe some of you would like to see. One is tuna cakes. One is the way I do yogurt, which is the easy, simple way to do it. So stick around and see, maybe you'll like them too. For the first one, you're going to need 2 eggs, half a cup of grated cheese. This is Parmesan cheese. You could use pretty much any kind of cheese you want. Then one of these little waffle makers. I suppose you could use a bigger waffle maker, but this little guy makes the size of what I'm going to make. So I'm going to make these little cheese egg waffles, and I use them for snacks. I use them for sandwich bread because I don't like to eat a lot of bread. Let's get going and I'll show you exactly what to do. They're so easy to do. Okay, so let's start by plugging in my little waffle maker here, and then we'll crack in the 2 eggs. There we go. And let me wash my hands. Let me get my little whisk here. You guys are making me nervous. So if you want to do just for 2 cakes, you do just 1 egg and a 1/4 cup of cheese. But I'm going to do double, so 2 eggs, half a cup of cheese. Just put the cheese in there. It makes it pretty thick, you can tell. It's, waffle making type thickness. So now I have to wait for this to heat up. Okay, I think it's hot, so let's give it a try. Yep, steaming. And you can grease it if you want, but this cheese makes it pretty greasy, so you don't need a whole lot. I just make sure it goes to all the little cracks. You don't even need to fill it up, as you can tell. Put that down and let it cook. So if you can see that steam coming up, you've got to let it steam up, and then when the steam stops, then it's done. Okay, let me take a little peek here. Yep, not quite. Steam was still coming up. I always get a little anxious, thinking it should be done already. There it goes. So let's take this. And as you can see, I got a perfect little waffle. And all it is cheese and eggs. So let's put some more in. I could have made that one a little fuller. Oh, let's see here. I've done them so they overflow, and that wasn't good. I think this time the waffle maker is a little hotter and it's doing better. So you can see all the steam coming up. This one's called a dash, in case you're interested. I'll see if I can still find it. I bought it a long time ago on Amazon. I'll see if I can find my link and link it in the description. Okay, just about done here. Let's take a peek. Ooh, looks good. All right. Should get 2 more. Okay, this one I did a little longer. Yep, get a little crispier. And 1 more. Took all of about 15 minutes to do that. What's nice about these is you can eat them in several different ways. So I like to eat them in the morning with cottage cheese on them, or I'll even stick them in the toaster and put, oh, if you like sweet, just put a little cinnamon and sugar on them or something, and they're very tasty. Or I just like them as a snack. But the best way, if you make a bunch, stick them in the freezer, put a little piece of paper towel between each one or wax paper, and then you can take them out one at a time and put them in the toaster, and they're great for breakfast or any time of the day. So there's number one. Let's call those cheesy waffles or snacks or something. You come up with a name. There's the last one. So let's go on to the next thing. Okay, the next thing is my yogurt, the way I do yogurt, which you may be very interested in since it's very, very simple and more cost effective than buying your own yogurt. I do it in the Instapot, and I use Fairlife milk. So it's already been ultra filtered, it says. So the process that you would use for bringing your yogurt to 180 degrees, that's already been done with this milk. That's why you don't have to do that. Every time I make yogurt, I save a little bit to use as my culture. Here is my yogurt. Here, let me show you. So this is my yogurt. Look how thick it is. Look, it's a Greek yogurt, they call it, which means the whey has been strained out. And I came across a really, really simple way to do that. A lot of people buy these strainers, and they're pretty expensive. And I didn't want to do that because it's just me. I watched somebody do something online, so let me show you what they did. So you see this strainer? Well, what they do is they take this and put it, after the yogurt has cooked, and I'll show you how to do that too. They put it over a bowl and use paper towel to line it. You just put your paper towel in like this. It's so hard to do this when I'm the only one filming and Jerry's not here. So I'll use one that way, and put the yogurt in there, setting over the bowl, and then the whey drips out. I stick it in the fridge for an hour, maybe an hour and a half or so, and it comes out this thick, just like I showed you, this thick. And it's amazing. I was shocked when the first time it happened, but let me show you what I do on my Instapot. So I stick it in here. All I do is press yogurt, the yogurt button, and I put mine up to 12 hours because I like it more sour tasting. You can do it 8 hours, at least you want to do it 8 hours, maybe 10. And it automatically goes off. It starts counting backwards, so it doesn't start from the top and go down, it counts up, which confused me at first. I wasn't used to the way an Instapot does it, but that's how they do it. So now I can have my own Greek yogurt, and it's so easy to make. So just wanted you to see that little hack. Now on to the next thing. And the next thing I want to show you is how to make a fish cake. Now this one I'm going to use tuna. Jerry buys this special tuna. You could use any kind of tuna, honestly. But he buys this kind from Natural Catch. So I'm going to use one of these. Then I'm also going to use some salt, sea salt. This is just that pink Himalayan salt. And you need 1 egg and some lemon pepper. And then you need some pork rind, or other panko would work too. But I'm going to use pork panko. So I got some pork rinds out and I put them in my chopper here and made my own pork panko. So let me put it together and show you how it looks. I've never done this recipe, so we'll see. It's an experiment for all of us at the same time. But I love salmon cakes, and so I figured I could do the same thing with salmon cakes and surprise Jerry. So let's see how these work out. So I drained the tuna, stick it in here. This will make about 3, maybe 4. Break it up. Make sure it's all in tiny pieces here with your fork. Then I put in my egg. Mix it all up real good here. Okay, then I'm going to add 1 to 2 tablespoons of the pork rind, pork panko. I think I'll put in 2 here. And then you're supposed to have a little extra to coat on the top of the cakes before you cook them. And I want to put in a generous amount of lemon pepper. Got to have some good seasoning in here. And a little bit of salt, because tuna has a lot of salt anyway. Mix that all up. I just looked at my recipe again to make sure I had everything, and you're supposed to add a little mayo, and that makes sense. So let me do that. We're gonna use Papa's Duke's Mayo. Let's see what this does to this. That'll add a lot of flavor. I think these are a little juicy. You know, my can of tuna, it was not the kind of tuna where it's already real flaky, so I had to kind of flake it up so it's more pieces. So we're gonna see what this does. So stick with me. Don't give up on me yet. Now we're gonna fry them up in some butter, and it should make about 3 patties. Let's see what we get. Like I say, it's an experiment. To fry them up, I'm gonna use a little butter here. I know, you're thinking, whoa, these things are really full of fat. Well, you know what? The older I've gotten, the more I realize fat is not my enemy. So I've been eating more fat than I ever thought I would. And it's more satisfying, that's true. So here, let's get this all nice and hot, and we'll fry them up. Okay, as you can tell, I'm not quite used to cooking, so I got my butter a little brown here. We're going to form 3 patties and pray they stay together. Maybe I'll just do 2 in this pan. 2 at a time. Turn my electric stove down some. Yeah, we'll see what happens. Okay, so I turned them over. Not looking too bad. Yeah. I bet they're gonna taste great. And I'll be the taste tester. Or come on over and taste it with me. All right, it held it together pretty good. So I'm gonna take these off. They look like they're done. And they're nice and crispy on one side. So let me put the other one in there, and it was suggested that you add a little more of the, here, let me get some of this juice off, maybe that'll help. Yeah, so drain it much better than I did if you don't want it as juicy. But they suggested that you add a little panko on top, and it'll help make it even crispier. So we'll try this. Okay, while that other one is cooking, I am going to try this one. I want to see what it tastes like. Tastes like tuna, fried tuna. But not real fried tasting. It's really good. That lemon pepper really makes a difference too. Makes it really yummy. So, 3 things. The yogurt and the straining part is really the thing that I was impressed with, is how to strain it, so I didn't have to buy a strainer. And then, because I always have paper towel and a sieve. So then the other thing is the cheese and egg cakes, waffles that you stick in the toaster for the morning. And I love those. Jerry even had one once and said, oh, those are pretty good, for a snack or something. And then these fish cakes. I'm anxious to try it with salmon one day to see if they don't taste great that way. So, hope you enjoyed this. Jerry will be back next week and he'll fill you in on where he is and what he's doing. I hope he tells you all about it. So have a great day and a wonderful week ahead. I just had an idea. I bet I could take 2 of these, put my fish cake in between them like that, and have a sandwich. There's so much protein in there. Man, that could last me all day. Thanks for watching.